Welcome to GeneralWo's Let's Play Napoleon Total War Series 2, the Egyptian Campaign. The Egyptian Campaign is the next campaign in the game, so I figured it would make an excellent follow-up to my previous campaign after having received so much wonderful feedback. So, without further ado, let's begin the campaign and let's first watch the introductory video and explanation by the campaign lady. It would give you a good idea what this one is about.
It was an age of exploration, of conquest everywhere. Frenchmen traveled the world, teaching, learning, trading. Always the British were a threat. Their merchants took the best. Their ships strangled our trade. As Britain grew wealthy, France suffered. In the heat of summer, Napoleon landed in Egypt. Now, the East and its wealth would be ours. Egypt. Here, the sands whisper stories of ancient victories and glories. Here, Napoleon felt the history of 40 centuries upon his shoulders. What I have done up to now is nothing, he said. But the desert is harsh, unforgiving. Bravery alone will not keep a man alive.
After taking Alexandria from the Mamelukes, France must focus immediate attention on the Mameluke leader, Murad Bey, who will rally his troops at Cairo. Killing him is essential to victory in Egypt. It's very likely that the Ottoman Empire will soon march its armies south into their Egyptian territory. The forts of Arish, Jaffa and Accra are the main strongholds along their route, so to successfully stall their advance, you must capture each of them. Whilst the Ottoman military presence is not particularly strong in the Levant, be on your guard, as the High Porte will surely send reinforcements from Anatolia and Greece. These elite troops are trained in the European style of warfare and are known as the Nizam-i-Sedit. To make matters worse, the British have sent one of their most capable admirals, Horatio Nelson, to the eastern Mediterranean to block your escape routes. No French supplies or reinforcements can arrive while the British naval base on Cyprus is active. And remember that your enemies can not only attack you by land, but also by sea. Make sure all your newly acquired towns and cities are well defended, so that there are no nasty surprises to check French progress in the region.
First, let me begin with some historical background information. This campaign ended in defeat for the French. When it began, they were doing alright and they had some very impressive victories. However, at some point, Napoleon decided he needed to go back to France because he claimed he had nothing left to do here. He left Kleber in charge, and Kleber managed to get assassinated. Eventually, after a series of defeats for the French army, the army agreed on surrender and was allowed to return home safely to France. Egypt was back in the hands of the British. Now, this campaign features a few new features, such as
You can move your gentleman by right-clicking on any part of the highlighted area.
and I'll have a use for him later. Right now I don't really have a lot of work for him because I need to find a school or a college or whatnot where he can help with research.
Oui?
I also have here a spy,
You can move your spy by right-clicking on any part.
which gives me a lot of intel already for this area, and I can use him to, for example, assassinate people and sabotage operations. I think I'll mostly use him for intelligence, just keep him in front of my army and he'll give me an idea as to what armies are around. Also new in this campaign is the research feature, which doesn't work since my gentleman can't really do anything yet. And naval battles. You saw in the beginning that there's a British fleet over here, and we may have to engage that. And that'll be fun, because naval battles are very pretty and very difficult the moment you have more than 2 ships to control. Also, I've never actually won this campaign, so this should be very interesting. I have, at this moment, 2 armies. Mr. Louis Charles Antoine d'Essai,
Prêt à recevoir vos ordres?
a very small army, and Mr. Bonaparte, of course, with a somewhat larger army of very experienced units. And I have some forces left here in Alexandria. Jean-Baptiste Kléber, the guy who got assassinated. Yeah, some chasseurs and some fusiliers. I think we should take Damanhur, since it's, well, it's right in front of us. So,
Monsieur, vos ordres? À gauche!
unfortunately,
Marchez!
Napoleon has to take a little detour, so he can't attack just yet.
Tenez-vous prêts!
I'll merge him up with this army.
Halte! En avant! Pour la couronne et le pays!
There we go.
Donnez le rappel pour la
And we'll
bataille!
attack next turn. For now, there's not a lot I can do. Start up the economy. Develop some of the basic structures. Let's see, can I build the 6-pounder with these as well? Nope. Oh, and interesting in this game is you have 2 types of militia. You've got your generic militia, and you've got the Libyan Bedouin, which have very similar stats. They're just not very good at melee, but they have a special ability, the resistance to heat fatigue, which may be of use in this campaign. Although mainly I shall be using militia like I always do to keep the population under control. They're not really used on the battlefield. This is the current situation. I've taken the city of Damanhur. It was very lightly defended, so it wasn't much of a challenge. I just auto-resolved it. And I've moved Napoleon,
Monsieur!
along with the spy and the gentleman, towards Cairo. And I can attack
Préparez-vous pour
next
la
turn.
bataille!
My spy, however,
Mes yeux
can
sont
attack
les vôtres.
this turn, so let's do exactly that. I can choose what I want him to do. Let's see who I can assassinate. Oh hey, look, that's Murad Bey. That's the guy the advisor lady told us needed to die if we were to win, so yeah. Why not?
Opérations.
But he failed, alas. Well, at least he didn't die. Let's try again next turn.
Votre volonté?
And we're given a mission. Capture the city of Nicosia on Cyprus. Yeah, that's I think we'll need a fleet first, and that means we'll have to deal with that pesky Nelson. No, let's if Murad Bey is still here, let's try and assassinate him again.
Contrat accepté.
Yes! And he's dead! Well, that solves our little problem. And in reality, Murad Bey was never assassinated. He was on good terms with Kléber, and was on his way to take Cairo back from the French, as was agreed by the terms of the surrender. And then he got the plague while he was on his way there, and he died. Unfortunately. Now, I suppose this is a death more fitting for a warrior.
Votre humble serviteur.
Right, now,
Attaquez!
time for Napoleon to attack. The army has no general, so it's very weak, despite the fact it's a lot bigger than ours. The enemy has 1,878 men, and I have 1,082. However, my men are more experienced, and they're simply better. Look what the enemy has to offer. It's armed populace. They don't have muskets, so this is a melee unit. And they have firelocked armed populace, which is the same, but with a musket. He has some peasant levy, which I think are something like militia. One decent unit, some hussars. I think these are like light infantry. Some foot artillery. And a bunch of light cavalry units. The balance clearly in our favor. I'm not going to do this on the battlefield. I'm just going to automatically resolve this.
Victoire!
And with that, Cairo is mine. That'll be all for now, but stay tuned for the next episode with hopefully a battle. See you!